A Perfect Pairing review. Unexpectedly delightful rom-com is slightly hollow. A Perfect Pairing may not stand out to most. But its wholesome aura, charming leads and beautiful cinematography is enough to warrant an watch. Netflix has seen what Lifetime and Hallmark have been cooking up in the romance genre and the instant value from making safe, stake-less, and humorless romantic comedies. This sort of rom-com is not the type people revisit when looking for something warm and comforting for a night in, background noise, or to pass the time. They are not those kinds of movies because a similar rom-com with the same stock characters, tropes, jokes, and dynamics will be released next week. There is a steady stream of feel-good fare that have no lasting impact. A Perfect Pairing, not to be confused with Hallmark's The Perfect Pairing. About a wine food critic who suffers from temporary amnesia and falls in love with the owner of a winery she panned, fits perfectly in that mold of rom-com. A Perfect Pairing carries on the tradition of quaint romantic comedies that are light on comedy and even flimsier on romance. However, against the odds, A Perfect Pairing, directed by Stuart MacDonald, is an amusing, delightful detour from the usual fare. Victoria Justice, the latest former teen starlet to have a career revival at Netflix, stars as Lola Alvarez. Lola is a hard-working wine executive who is highly efficient at her job and a massive wine fan. After several years of working for a useless boss, legend of the Seekers Craig Horner, and having a significant client stolen from her by a coworker, Lola strikes out on her own by starting her own wine distribution company. To get a leg up in the business, she sets her sights on Vaughn Family Wines. The client stolen from her, she packs up and leaves for Australia to fight her case, which leads her to volunteer to fill a work position on the Vaughn sheep farm to prove herself to business tycoon Hazel Vaughn, Samantha Toll. She must train and work with the handsome station manager Max, Adam Demos, with whom she has instant chemistry. Max is skeptical of Lola, but is won over by her bubbly charm and go-getter attitude, which might mean his guarded heart might become hers. Adam Demos and Victoria Justice in A Perfect Pairing, written by Hilary Gallinoy and Elizabeth Hackett. The duo who gave viewers Netflix's Love, Guaranteed and Falling in Love. A Perfect Pairing barely rises above those aforementioned rom-coms for two reasons: charming leads and some stunning cinematography. Ben Knott's cinematography is leagues ahead of prior romantic comedies. A refreshing color palette allows the green, blues, purples, and pinks to pop and appear luminous on screen during the day and night. The Australian landscape is lensed to perfection, almost as if this is a clever tourism advert from the land down under. There is a vibrancy and texture that catches the eye and has one deeply engaged with what is transpiring on screen. The script is still flimsy and fluffy, and the acting is so-so across the board, but Knott's technique creates an inviting atmosphere that lures one in. Victoria Justice and Adam Demos have decent chemistry that isn't expanded upon as much as one would hope. However, each is charismatic in their own way, just not together. Justice is hamming it up with her tried and true Nickelodeon training. Bonus: she gets to show off her singing skills, too. And Demos is the right amount of soft and stubborn. Watching this reminded this author of the ongoing conversation about chemistry-less and sex-less romantic movies and the proliferation of these flicks that lack any fire. A Perfect Pairing is the perfect example of a romantic comedy built on being reserved and never stepping over the sexy line. And it works. Lifetime and Hallmark have built an empire on this tactic. The most that we get in A Perfect Pairing is an attempt at a gratuitous shot of Demos shirtless with the heroine gazing upon him in wonder. It is deeply tame, which is acceptable to an extent. Here, there is a considerable lack of courtship. The characters seem to stumble into love with each other, although there are numerous scenes with them getting to know each other. There is a distinct lack of palpable romantic or sexual tension. However, these actors have that rare ability to lace their performances with a bit of heat to help give the romance the nudge it needs. Demos has also mastered the art of the love-struck gaze, which helps. It is odd to have a story ultimately meant to build a romance, but fails to do so. It is a rare gift to make falling in love seem like happenstance and not something the central couple makes happen. The mutual attraction is evident. But the movie quickly moves past crucial moments where the couple might actualize their feelings. It leaves viewers to wonder about things. Did Lola and Max have a late-night dip in the pool and not kiss after some intimate eye contact and laughs shared? Maybe not. When the two act on their feelings, it is abruptly shut down by Max, who has been keeping a secret from Lola. The movie proceeds to wrap up its third act as quickly as possible and seal it with one last kiss. And that's that. Thoroughly unfulfilling as far as romances go. Despite what the title infers, the main couple is only perfect due to some contrivances and not because they seem romantically fit for each other. For what a perfect pairing is lacking in romance, it makes up for with an abundance of hard and decent life lessons. The ensemble cast is boisterous and endearing, with their own stories worthy of following. Just as it was frustrating to watch the movie quickly pass on any heated moments between Lola and Max. The film does the same when side characters are spurred into action by Lola or are about to have personal interactions that will pay off later. Lola and Max are the central figures. But these other characters seem like a delight. And it would not have been so bad just to include a scene or two of them doing their own thing. Ultimately, the film is saved by the overwhelming display of humanity and Lola's character trajectory. Her determined spirit and relentless optimism are infectious, and her finding a home amongst this ensemble is a pleasure to watch. A perfect pairing may not stand out to most, but its wholesome aura, charming leads, and beautiful cinematography is enough to warrant an enthusiastic watch. If the goal for any romantic comedy is to fill one with that particular, indescribable warm and fuzzy feeling, then A Perfect Pairing accomplishes that. However, if one is a fan of a romantic comedy with a fair amount of romancing and a great deal of laughter, one might want to skip this, or be satisfied with it being an entertaining enough watch while waiting on something more suitable to one's tastes.